Rivers is the topic for today. So new chapter, rivers. This will end in a test, a non-open note, open book. So there will be no notes or books for this. So rivers is your heading. You don't need to write this, but I like to think of a river as a tree, or a river system as a tree. You don't need to write this, but trees have a trunk, branches, and twigs, while rivers have creeks, streams, and rivers. Now, if I compared it, the Missouri River is a large river. So if I compared that to a tree, the trunk of the tree would be like the Missouri River. The branches would be the smaller rivers that dump into it, like the Big Sioux, like the Cheyenne, the James River. And then the little creeks and streams that dump into the smaller rivers would be like the twigs. So it'd be like the Skunk Creek and things like that. So small ones would be like, small twigs would be like streams and creeks. Then we got branches, would be smaller rivers, and then the trunk would be the large river. I would like you to write this down. A delta. A delta is a large, roughly triangular body of sediment deposited at the mouth of a river. Flows into an estuary. Take a moment, write that down. If I'm going too fast, you can pause. The reason a delta has fertile farmland, fertile soil, is because it basically carries erosion down with it. So if we think about the Mississippi River, it drains into the Gulf of Mexico. The Mississippi River goes through the Midwest, and Midwest is known for great farming soil. Well, we have erosion happening. We get a heavy rain. Some of that soil is going to get washed into the river. That's going to carry it down there, and then it's going to dump it at the mouth of the river, or the delta, right before it dumps into the Gulf of Mexico. And that area is going to have very rich soil. It's basically stolen soil from the Midwest. So a delta, a body of sediment deposited at the mouth of the river. The mouth of the river is where it dumps into the Gulf in this instance. A couple of the terms. Tributary and meander. Take a moment, write this down. Don't worry about the part in parentheses. You don't need to write that. So go ahead and write down tributary, a stream flowing into or joining a larger stream. And then meander, a broad looping bend in a river. If you contribute to something, you're adding to it. So if you play basketball and you're contributing to the team, you're bringing something to the team. Well, a tributary is a small river that brings water to a larger river. So the Big Sioux would be a tributary to the Missouri River. The Missouri River eventually dumps into the Mississippi River. So you could say the Missouri River is a tributary to the Mississippi. Something smaller that adds to something bigger. Meander is just a bend or a loop. Rivers don't go in straight lines. They're going to go to areas where there's less resistance. So if a river is flowing and all of a sudden there's a hill there, the river isn't going to cut through the hill. It's going to go around it because it's easier. A lot of you guys maybe try to find the easy way out when it comes to your homework. That would be kind of the similar thing. So meander, you're going to loop, you're going to bend around things. Why don't we stop there? All right.